I'm excited for this. Did you see my promo?
No,
I did with the shark outfit.
Oh yeah, I did too. It was good. It was good.
All right. Well, I mean, gonna have a crazy podcast. There's a lot of crazy things gonna happen tonight.
I hope not. We're gonna try to make this nice and easy for everyone.
All right. Well, I'm gonna hit that intro, and then we're gonna get into this. Jump in. I gotta share, and we're gonna be doing this. Okay.
Let's go.
Your Ivan, you look great right now.
Oh, dude.
Alexa, you look amazing too.
Oh, I don't think that's true, but thank you.
Okay. Well, we all look great. At least we're doing this cool podcast together, and I'm about to learn a lot of stuff.
True.
I'm gonna learn a lot about dolphins.
Sure.
Like I used to love that game Echo.
I didn't play it.
It's Sega Genesis. It came out in the 90s. A good game.
Yeah, it's probably, I think, a little bit after my time.
You act like you've only been on Atari. It's not true.
We didn't have that, but I played Nintendo.
I'm a lot older than you guys. So.
Stop using.
Not a lot.
No, it's like 6 years.
10 years older?
No.
8 years? How old are you?
44.
All right, so I'm 8 years older.
Yeah.
Almost a.
We offer home, auto, commercial, builders, lips, and life is rich.
Oliver's good.
Oliver Shots is rich.
There.
Yeah, the No Springs.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah. Like you walked in and Cade called me. He's like, I think that's your buddy Ivan. Now watch. Cade is watching. He's going to watch tonight. But he's like, I think that's your buddy Eaton. I was like, go say hey to him. He's like,
I don't know why he wouldn't come over.
no, just he was busy. All right. Well, I mean, let's get into this.
Let's go. Let's
Ready.
go. We're here with the
Straight up
Ready.
Mississippi Aquarium, Gulfport. We got Ivan Spinner here. Go ahead and hit your full name. Ivan, you hit your full name.
Alexa Delaune.
Alexa, doctor.
Doctor, yeah.
It's got to go doctor. You worked hard for that.
I did.
You got to be called a doctor.
I did, yeah.
My buddy's a
It's on my
pharmacist.
shirt, so,
Yeah. My buddy's a pharmacist, and of course, there's a gray area.
Yeah.
Sean Amiziel. You know Sean.
Yeah.
And he came on years ago on our show, and I was like, dude, you went to school for that. You're going to be called doctor to me.
Yeah.
Everyone wants those two initials before their name.
Yeah.
Did you ever think about having that?
No.
Never once.
I just make my kids call me doctor.
Did you know he played tennis at Penn State?
No.
About 100 years ago. About 40 pounds less than 100 years ago.
Go Nittany Lions.
What'd you
There we
study?
go.
What'd
We
you
are,
study?
baby. We are. I love
Penn
that.
State.
What'd you study at Penn State?
Business, marketing. The easiest way to, I was like, what is the business major? What's the easiest business major I can get? Marketing was definitely it.
But
Did you
you're
work-
actually doing it though.
Exactly. I am.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm doing it. I don't know if I'm marketing as a whole, but definitely in the business area.
Well, so we got this aquarium going on. Okay. How long have you been a part of Mississippi Aquarium?
I've been here since November 2019. So 5 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where are you originally from?
I'm originally from Wichita, Kansas. Have you been there?
No. I think I heard it in this country song before.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Wichita, what got you
Yeah.
into being you're a veterinarian, correct?
I am. Do you want to hear the long
Yeah, I want the
story?
everything, yeah.
Okay. So I'm landlocked, no ocean. But when I was about 8 years old, we went to this park and they had a dolphin presentation. And I saw dolphins for the first time and I was like, what is this? Because I had never seen that in person before. And it made a huge impression on me. I said, okay, I want to be a marine biologist. And I was 8 years old. And then every book report was like, read about the ocean. I had posters on the wall, all the orcas, all the dolphins, all the turtles.
That was like the trippy style posters,
yeah,
right?
Lisa Frank, you know.
Yeah.
Like, and then in the 80s, 90s, late 80s, early 90s. And so I was dead set on becoming a marine biologist, and which is hard in Kansas. But I got to see the ocean for the first time when I was 9 or 10 years old. And I was like definitely hooked after that. Because my parents divorced and we went to visit my dad in California. So when I saw it in real life, and then when I got 15, I got scuba certified. And I was like, this is the most amazing thing in the world. I can't believe there's this whole other universe down below. And so I was hooked. So I always wanted to be a marine biologist from Kansas. I wanted to go to school for that, but we didn't have money for that. And I had a full ride to KU. So I went to University of Kansas for undergrad. And then after that, I did everything I could to get experience in marine biology. I worked in a lab and I entered Excel stuff about anemones because that was the only thing that was there in Kansas. And then I volunteered and did an internship at Moat Marine Lab in Florida. And then I started doing sea turtle research in Mexico. And I met someone there who went to grad school at Florida Atlantic
Did you ever
University.
party in Mexico?
That's where I'm from.
Yeah.
I know.
So I, after I graduated Kansas, I got a degree in biology and a degree in Spanish. And I went to grad school to study sea turtles in FAU in Boca.
Man, I'll be there Tuesday for 10 days.
So I had a great time there. And unfortunately, it was the year that Hurricane Francis, Jean, and Wilma hit that area. And that was my exact study site. So I was studying little turtles on a shallow reef. And after those hurricanes, the reef was gone. And so I had been in grad school for 2 or 3 years at that point. And it was a pretty big setback because I couldn't complete my research. So at that point, I was maybe 25. And I was like, this has been my lifelong dream. And it's kind of slipping through my hands. What else could I possibly do? So then I was like, maybe I could be like an aquatic veterinarian. And I had no idea what that entailed. But I started volunteering at vet hospitals, wildlife hospitals, and I applied to every school that I had the prereqs for. And I was very lucky, and I got in to a few places, and I chose to go to Florida, University of Florida. So I went there because they had good aquatics program, and then graduated, did a rotating internship outside of Chicago with small animals and learned all the different specialties. Then got an internship at Georgia Aquarium in Atlanta, and I ended up staying there 8 years. And then I got recruited to come down here and start this program.
So you've been at it.
Yeah.
So you didn't like getting like, so for me, I was thinking you got inspired by like Ace Ventura.
No.
You know what I mean?
No,
You must have been extremely offended when Trump said they're eating the dogs, they're eating the animal, the cats. You know,
I honestly couldn't believe that actually was said.
Okay. But let's get really to the gist on how this how this happened.
Yeah.
Like why we're all here today.
Yeah.
You know, obviously I had a podcast with Jordan and I was talking about the city of Gulfport and some issues I believed with. And I'm working out at Jones Park and I look at this bridge, beautiful bridge that Gulfport did. And I took a picture saying, you know, how is this place sustaining itself? Not at all negative about the aquarium one bit, but more about like, how is it sustaining itself? Because what downtown Gulfport and what the city of Gulfport has kind of done, you know, you build this beautiful aquarium where an area should be booming. And how do you not have hotels and restaurants and homeless people all over the streets when you just built this, I don't know how many millions, $50-100 million facility that is supposed to be our attraction for the South, for South Mississippi. So that was just one, everyone, that was my meaning from that post. It wasn't bashing the aquarium and saying, but if you build something like that, you know, you build it, they're going to come, but you also have to build the infrastructure around it. And that was kind of my saying, like, hey, we built this bridge to nowhere, pretty much just goes to like Jones Park and it's got like 3 different entrances. You're like, wow, what is this? But the aquarium as a whole, I mean, it's beautiful. I've been to a couple of events there that I was like, wow. And I've been in there. I don't have young kids, so I don't go that often. I think I've been there once or twice to actually see that. And then I've been to a couple of events there. But, you know, I know a lot of people in Gulfport want to know, like, hey, how are y'all doing? You know, how is this eventually, if the city of Gulfport doesn't build around you with hotels and entertainment and districts and bars?
And he's right about that. I mean, it's like, for instance, like you said, the bridge. I mean, we've done like, you know, they'll have the Island View Harbor Lights. You know, they'll have that type of event. And in Jones Park, I mean, I used to do car shows back in the day, but there's really not a lot of downtown driven traffic. So like when you have a bridge like that, I mean, it's like, it's cool. Like if they had a bridge where it's like 10 clubs, you know what I mean?
Oh, no doubt.
Yeah. Like it'd make like, I'd go to the aquarium, I'd walk across and I'd go down there and eat kind of like a Baytown.
There's no doubt.
Similar Baytown. And I think that was like, people's like, okay, well, you can only sustain to do like the food truck style for so long. It's a great concept, but like when you have a bridge like that, it's kind of like a mystery. Like, where's it going to end?
And you go there and you're like, oh my God, there's a splash pad.
Yeah.
No, I mean, but which is super cool. But
Dual piano bars.
Yeah. But I do think like with, they do have, the light show's great.
Yeah.
For Christmas. I mean, and I'm sure you guys are doing like, opening at night while they're open. I think that could be a kind of a neat little combination together. But more or less, I was saying is like, how could you financially make it without having the area around you start growing in a positive way? Because the money and the infrastructure you built, and I know you've had a lot of donors and a lot of local people have sponsored, and a lot of big companies have sponsored and, done a penguin exhibit and other things like that.
Not yet. We're working on that.
But they're working on that.
Yeah.
And dolphins and other
Yeah.
stuff. And a lot of people have put their money and hard work and effort into it.
So let's just start with some like how do y'all sustain?
So we get money through the gate. So gate revenue, visitors, annual passes, things like that. And also obviously private donors and community sponsorships and things like that. And to your end, yes, of course, if the area around us were booming, it would definitely help our business as well. I would have to imagine that would be true, a good positive correlation. And I think maybe the reason why what you did struck such a chord is because all the people that work at the aquarium, many of us are transplants from other places. And we believe in the aquarium and we gave up a lot and we come here and we work so hard every holiday, long hours, overnights, do whatever it takes because it means a lot to us and we want to share that with the community. And in order for us to be successful, we need the community support. We give like scholarships to people, it's called sponsored admissions for children that don't have enough money to come. They can come with school. We give, tickets to community sponsors and things like that as just giving back. We provide educational opportunities, stuff like that. But it really doesn't matter unless the community also rallies around us. And the biggest pet peeve of mine is when people say, oh, it's not that good of an aquarium. And I say, oh, what don't you like about it? They say, oh, I've actually never been. I've just heard that. Yeah. So that we need to change the mindset of this area, because of course we need community support to be successful. And I think I do have young kids and I see the value in it. And I see our visitors that come on a regular basis and I see the inspiration behind people's eyes. And as a vet, I've done a lot with education, outreach, things like that. So we're all very passionate about making it successful. And we do just need to become more integrated in the community and get some support.
Well, that's great. I mean,
she's pretty much saying when you were showing a video of you on the bridge going, what the hell is this?
I feel horrible. I swear. When I posted that and I got a text from one of my neighbors going, Ivan, really? And I was like, it wasn't about that. And listen, I'm not going to say I'm a supporter of the aquarium. I support it, but I haven't actually truly supported it.
Yeah.
Everyone's got a lot of things going on in their lives and you can only support so many different causes and stuff. But of course I want y'all to succeed. And I think what you guys are doing is amazing. And I think my big thing is I think if we do stuff around that area in a positive light, it's only going to help you.
Yeah.
And the better the aquarium does, the better the whole Gulf Coast does.
Yeah.
So I want everyone to be successful.
But he's right about like the development around it. Like you said, like you need to have like a hotel. You need to have y'all going to have the Markham's going to be coming in, right?
Eventually.
But you need to have these things where it's like, one of my big dreams with like the Pink Dress Run, and thank you for the generator we used this year and made y'all a sponsor. And thank you, Ivan, with the Bella making the sponsor. But like, when y'all first opened the aquarium, one of our victories that we were having with the aquarium for the Pink Dress Run was going to be a party at the end at the aquarium.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
It was like finish off the Pink Dress Run and have a party at the aquarium.
And now we can go to the Pink Dress Run over that bridge and use it.
So we got to figure it out. But I mean, that's a situation of like, the aquarium's great, but like I'm a dad. So it's like, if I want to take my son to the aquarium, I do want to stop into a cool little bar and a cool restaurant. I do want to see some adult stuff too. I want to throw an axe at something.
Yeah.
Not a real dolphin, but maybe make a fake dolphin.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just
And you got some spots. I mean, you got Austin Summerall just built that really cool bar.
at
down
Siren
there.
Club.
So, yeah, and you have
Yeah.
Boozers, which is great.
Yep.
It's always a favorite of mine. You have some stuff, but you're almost like on an island.
It would, I mean, we, employees, we go to those places all the time. They're
Right.
within walking distance. So we would love to have a lot of options
There's no
also
doubt.
for lunch and things like that. And actually I think people underestimate the value of the aquarium, because next year we're hosting this conference for the International Association for Aquatic Animal Medicine. And it's going to be veterinarians from literally all over the world that work with aquatic animals. And it's going to be here in Mississippi, which is
amazing.
awesome. And it's going to bring about 350 people, all mostly veterinarians or vet techs or researchers. And I just think that every time I've shown someone this area or the aquarium, they're surprised that it exists. And I think that we could have such a neat little thing. Like the downtown area is cool. It's like a piece of history. As an outsider, when you walk around, you see those cool little buildings, and you don't really find that in a lot of other places. So I do think we have a huge opportunity down here to make it really awesome.
There's no
place.
way. You're 100% right. Downtown Gulfport's got massive. I mean, you got the port. You have
It's one of the best spots.
You have downtown. You have bars and restaurants. But I mean, literally at 6 o'clock at night, it's dead.
Yeah.
So there's got to be a way for downtown. I know Billy, the mayor's huge supporter of the aquarium. But anytime you build something like that, you got to really focus around it. You got to eliminate some of the homeless. You got to figure out that situation.
What is the state like? How many homeless you think we have in that area?
I think it's brutal. I think that and downtown Biloxi's, been having a really tough time. A lot of people are sending those homeless to those areas. They're actually putting them on a bus and dropping them off there, and we're feeding them right down the road. And it's been a very difficult situation. I owned a couple buildings in downtown Gulfport. I mean, I've had people go to the bathroom right on my front steps and, sleeping there every night. And I'm sure you guys are experiencing very similar things at the aquarium in Jones Park.
Yeah, I actually don't know because I'm not usually there at nighttime. So.
But even in the morning, when you wake up in the morning, you'll see them sleeping around, the areas, Jones Park. I mean, it's hard.
Yeah.
And it's a situation that, it's happening nationwide. And
Yeah.
we just got to be able to
Can you
figure
share
out
a couple of your
solution.
buildings that you used to own or no?
Yeah, the Toggerty building, which where PJ's used to was. And now we sold it to a bank called Bank Plus. We own the building next door, which is
You actually sold a building to a bank?
yes, we sold it to a bank.
That's kind of dope, dude.
The bank wanted to be on the corner right across from Hancock. So we had we sold it. We got an offer that we felt like it was strong enough and it was good for us to sell it. And then I own the building next door, which is the blue build. We call it the blue building because it's blue. And there's a hair salon down below, and there's 2 apartments upstairs, Airbnbs upstairs. And that do very well, and people like it. But we need people living down there, working.
So
down
you
there,
have
shopping down
have concerns. It's not just with the aquarium. You personally have this concerns because you have property downtown.
Oh, there's no doubt. I mean, and if you talk to anyone, I think most people will express the same situation. And one of the big issues also is Gulfport's been so hard to create new businesses and to build down there that people have been reluctant to do it. So, if you had developers that wanted to do business in downtown Biloxi or downtown Gulfport or Gulfport as a whole, I mean, you have a lot of beautiful areas right around there that if people developed it would be huge, but they need to incentivize people, and they need to make it easier to work with for developers to go in those areas. I mean, I know 2 people that are supposed to build this amazing facility down there. I believe Roy Anderson and Rick Carter, build this living restaurants, hotels and stuff in downtown. And I don't know if it's going to happen or not. I mean, hopefully it does. But who knows? I mean, it's been on the plate for a few years, but those are the kind of things you need to make Gulfport a success.
I would say that too, because for the aquarium, I mean, because that's another person you can, get in the door.
Yeah.
And that's huge for y'all. Cause
Yeah.
Huge.
seems like you're very passionate about this aquarium.
For sure. And to housing, like a lot of our people, whenever they move here, they need a place to live. So that would be convenient to have a place right down there.
Doubt.
Yeah. We lack no passion. That's for sure. That is definitely something we have a lot of.
And that's
Y'all are not really money. Like y'all are not money driven. in y'all's field?
I mean, we are a nonprofit, so we're not supposed to make millions and millions of dollars, although it would be lovely because then we could reinvest in capital things to make it better. So that's why, I mean, last year we opened up a new building called Changing Tides, and it has all new exhibits like small little tanks, and our sloth lives there, and there's VR pods and this coloring interactive thing.
Just go check it out.
If we can swim with a shark, I'm down. I'm being serious.
I was going to call you, but I had a lot going on this week and some other headaches. But I was going to call you and say, let's go there before we jump on, just so we have an insight of what it is today.
I could give you a tour post
in the next 2 weeks when I get back. I 100% want to go. I think it'd be fun to go check it out and do a little.
You can meet some animals, talk to the people that take care of them.
I do hear from other people around. They say they like it, but it's expensive. So some people obviously everyone's tight right now.
Yeah.
Financially, you go to Subway and it's $20.
Right.
Just people are tighter on money right now. And, some people think with Trump, it might get better, and who knows if it does or not. Inflation's been rough on a lot of people, but they say it's expensive for, for a daily visit. People on the coast just don't have the excess capital.
At this time, what is the general mission?
It varies depending on the day. So during the week, it's a little less expensive than the weekend, but it's right around $30 for adults. And if you purchase online, you get more of a discount. But I think if you purchase an annual pass, you can go as many times as you want for the year. And it pays for itself after like 2-point-something visits. So that's actually a pretty good deal. And I mean, people go to the movies for just one movie, and they don't complain about the cost. Well, maybe they do, but
people complain about everything.
So yeah, you'll always complain about something.
Everything.
It costs a lot of money to take care of the animals. We have,
So that was my
water, electricity.
What do you know where the electricity bill is at? Do you know?
I don't know those
it's
numbers.
Gotta be out of this world, dude.
Yeah.
It is. I was telling them before we jumped on the podcast. When I was young, I had a 160-gallon tank, and just to maintain that is brutal.
Yeah.
I can't imagine the cost to maintain it, not only to feed the animals, but to keep it clean. So what you guys are doing is amazing.
I told you you'd love
it. And what you're doing amazing. I mean, it's amazing you're able to do it. And I just hope you get the support, continued support.
I do too.
From the government or whoever else, and the public and private sponsors you guys have to sustain it. Because I know a lot of people said, well, what's going to happen if they don't? Is the city or the taxpayers
we're going to pay for it. Yeah. And that's a scare.
Cities and going to have to pay for it. And I think that's a big concern everyone has. And from what I'm hearing from other people that have called me from my one post, they're like, "Oh no, we're doing really well and we're making money." And
so have y'all ever took from the city, or have y'all been always self-sufficient?
So originally, with building the aquarium, there was credit from the city, like a line of credit, and then there were some bonds, I think, and then there were, there's some state restore funds and things like that. But currently, we don't get money from anything other than people that come to the aquarium.
So it's like kind of like that. Was it Tycoon game? It's one of the videos, like Sims. It's like there's like it's a roller coaster tycoon game. It's like that, right? Like you have to like sell merch. You have to food, like a hot dog. You have to have So that's what y'all live off of.
Always wanting. I mean, you always want people to buy things while they're there. Go visit the gift shop. Do an experience. Like you can pay to meet a dolphin, pay to meet a penguin, go diving in the big tank.
You can buy beers there.
Yeah, you can.
What is the diving experience? Like, what does something like that cost to go diving in the tank?
It's about $75 to $80.
I think that's a pretty.
It's like a helmet that you put over your head, so you don't have to be certified, and it blows air in. It's kind of weird.
I did that at Atlantis.
Yeah,
with my kids, they were little, and I did the shark tank.
Yeah.
So my kids are freaking out that I did it. You put your hands up so the sharks just swim and touch you. And then like a year or two, a shark bit somebody.
Really?
It was like all over the news. My kids are like, "Oh my God!" But
the sharks don't tend to like the people that dive.
But it was a cool experience. But I remember after I did it, they wouldn't let me fly out that day. I had to fly out like the next day.
Oh, because of the decompression. Yeah, I don't think that one. The one we have is probably not deep enough to matter.
It was an awesome experience. I loved it. And for $75, I mean, to me, that's like an awesome value.
Yeah. No, there's a lot of things like that. And there are a lot of, if you like to learn, you can learn. And if you just like to look at pretty things, you can go look at pretty things.
I want to hit you on a heavy question though.
Okay.
What you got bit by?
Me?
Yeah. What bit you?
My cat. At work, let's see. When you ask me this, I'm gonna like get bit tomorrow. You know that, right?
No, knock on wood. This is actually a cherry wood.
You know what bites a lot are birds. Birds bite a lot. I've been bitten by a penguin, and it hurts really bad because they bite and twist.
Are they really friendly though?
No.
They're
I
not.
mean, they look friendly and they trick you. And our group of penguins is actually the most friendly group I've ever worked with. So I would trust them over other penguins, but they will fight you. They will. They don't care.
So how many penguins we talking?
Well, we have 11 penguins, and they're off exhibit because they don't have an exhibit on the aquarium campus, which is one of people's complaints because they always want to see the penguins. So we're actively working. We have plans for the exhibit. We're actively fundraising. We have a little over $6 million, and our goal is about $9 million. So if anyone has $2.5 million and they want to be the penguin,
I know a lot of people.
Prince.
I know a few here.
Yeah, I don't know.
I know one
be
next
I
to
got
me.
a lot of, but
the
I,
Ivan Spinner Penguin Palace.
I don't know, but I do want. to
It'd
see
be a
it.
Kelly Palace.
Is there a penguin? Like when you go there, you can see the penguins now, right?
Right now, if you want to see a penguin, you have to do a penguin encounter. So you can book a penguin encounter and meet one and touch it and learn all about it.
So tell me how that works. So just like
You just go online
Right.
and look for animal encounters and select penguin and the date, and we bring the penguin over. And
Can
one
you
of
book me that?
you bring it to like your house? or
no.
to the
Well,
aquarium?
I
To
mean,
the
for the
aquarium.
right price.
Right.
Ivan, are you serious?
She's like, bring it over.
I
I'm
mean,
like,
for
where you going?
2.5 million, we
Oh,
probably
yeah.
could talk, but but no, we bring it to the aquarium. Yeah,
Okay.
to
And
a
how
little
much is
room.
an experience like that? Like one of those
Okay, I
encounters?
printed it off because I knew you guys would ask me how much.
I mean,
the
those are
penguin
those
experience
those.
would
Let
be.
me tell you. So those are things I never knew you did,
Yeah.
and those are things that I think are
You can
amazing.
meet a penguin for $59.95.
Wow, that's amazing.
You can dive for $89.95.
Wow.
You can be a trainer for a day for $279, and you can have a dolphin encounter for $64.95.
Wow, I think those prices are very, very good. Like
Yeah.
I swam with the dolphins with both my boys and my daughter in the Bahamas and in the Keys and in Florida. It was both amazing experiences.
Yeah.
Swim with the dolphins out, they take you, they swim. I mean, dolphins to me are amazing
They are.
animals.
They're really cool.
How many dolphins you got?
We have 4. Yep.
You know
4
their
dolphins.
names?
Of course. We have Axel, Nigel, Archer, and Finn.
Did you steal that name from Beverly Hills Cop?
No, they came with the name.
Do you know what's funny is I went with my wife and my kids to the Bahamas, and we go into Atlantis, and all the dolphins, well, a majority of them were from the Katrina dolphins.
Yeah, they were.
And they're like, this dolphin is from Gulfport, Mississippi, and her name is Kelly. And my wife's name is Kelly. She's like, oh my gosh.
Cool.
But they said most of them were Katrina dolphins that were, when Katrina happened, I guess they took them in and took care of them.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they ever got them back. I don't know the exact story because I've been there since, but this is like about 10 plus years ago.
Yeah, I think they still have them.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is the least favorite animal or mammal you have in that aquarium?
My least favorite
Yeah.
mammal.
Yeah.
Okay, we don't have that many mammals. We have dolphins, otters, beavers, sloth, and an armadillo.
It's got to be an armadillo.
I think that's all the animals. My least. Oh, we have
I mean, you'll
mammals.
save their life. Let's be honest.
No, of course.
Yeah, that's your job. But which one you don't like?
I like all the mammals. The sloth stresses me out the most because one time he was under anesthesia and he just was not doing well, and everyone loves him, and it's just a lot of pressure. But we saved him and he's fine. But I don't know, the sloth probably, which is weird
So
because
you have
everyone loves the
Your
sloth.
clinic's at the
Yeah.
aquarium.
Yes.
You have your own, so you have to
Yes.
jump in if one of your animals runs straight into a wall
That's
or fight each other.
And
Oh,
what
yeah.
What happens if the sloth all of a sudden did pass away? Would you go out and find another sloth?
so probably, but the
Okay.
answer is we would first do an investigation. An animal autopsy is called a necropsy.
Okay.
So any animal that dies at the aquarium, which is an unfortunate fact of dealing with
It's gonna
animals,
have to happen.
they get a full exam, and we take samples and we send it off to pathology to make sure it's not something that we need to worry about for the other animals. something like just learn from it, see what we could have done differently if we could have, or if it was just a disease process that we couldn't stop. And then we'd reevaluate and see, like, is this the best option? Should we get another one? Something like that. And it also depends on the animal,
Do you get attached to every animal?
So
Be honest.
yes and
You're
no.
kind of tearing up a little bit.
No, I get attached more to, like, I think as a vet, you sometimes have to like disassociate a little bit because it is my job. And when animals are sick or really hurt, the people that take care of them every day, like their trainers or their keepers, I mean, that's kind of like, they're very close with them. I'm just their doctor. So of course I'm sad, but I'm sad for the people. And I'm always sad when I can't fix something because that's what I'm supposed to be there for. But of course, medicine is not perfect. But I get more sad that I couldn't do something about it. And then there are a few animals that really touch your heart for whatever reason. And those are really hard when you lose those. But I mean, I deal with loss in general as a vet, but there are some that really get me. And especially like if a lot of people are sad, I don't like to.
So a buddy of mine, Don Parker, his wife has pet clinic in Will Market.
Okay.
So I will have this dog named Bo, which my husky. I had a husky before it was a trend. This is my husky. It's like this is what I like, my baby. Before
You're the first person that loved the husky.
No, but it's not like you have tons of them. But
Is
it's
that
like,
why you had this beard? You like
Yeah.
you want that kind of.
well, no, I just before I had Emily, I had this husky. Like before, I bought my first house. My buddy moved in as a roommate. His ex-girlfriend bought us a husky that it literally was like $150. We called him the phone out of the parish in Louisiana, and they're like, "So if he doesn't make it, we're gonna just put him down." And we're like, "We'll take." We didn't know how to control it.
No.
But Bo became this like really sweet dog where I used him as a pillow almost every night. No matter what girls I dated, what I did, that dog was always loving. And we had him for like 16, almost 17 years.
Yeah.
And he had a tumor, and they did a surgery.
Mm-hmm.
And Don's wife owns like I said, she owns a pet clinic. Her and Emily were there, and a great surgery. Bo had a blood clot, killed him. And they both were crying. Don calls me. He's like, I didn't know that was your husky. Like, it was just, one of the things where like, yeah, because it's like he became a part of the family. Like we just lost our Molly. She's 18 years old. Like we lost her from tumors. Like, no, we had put her down because she couldn't eat anymore. But it's like, we had these dogs. Like I met Emily at 30. We're both 30. We're 2 weeks apart. We both had dogs. We had, you call them college dogs. And that's, you just had them forever. And they were just like part of your life. And we had Oliver. So, of course, Oliver didn't replace, but was, a little, we had to be more concerned, he premature and he had health issues but there were dogs. And I tell people all the time, if you really like know your dogs, like it was just one of the hardest things. And I knew when Don called me and, Don does art, he did your house.
He did my house.
They did his architecture of his house. He like called me. He's like, he's worried about his wife. His wife was like numb. Like she got home, she was numb. She took it personal.
She was the vet.
Yeah, she took it very personal, and I was grateful for that. And
yeah.
No, I wish I'd have I got another 5 years to wait for that.
Let's bring up some of these questions. So let's see what people are asking.
Right there. Right here. So we got Ernest Ulacker. What's up, Jordan and Ivan? Glad to see my neighbor with you.
Yeah, he's my neighbor.
Yeah, so you're Ben Oaks.
Yeah.
Okay. What up?
All right. Biloxi girl working in Gulfport.
All right, you want to take Kristen's? Kristen's a big part of your support.
What's the question?
She says we need more retail, hotels, residential, and attractions to keep the crowd in downtown. I totally agree. I would love to sit down with you and bring 100%. I think you've reached out to me, and I couldn't agree with you more. I believe downtown. It's hard for any other city to honestly really compete with downtown Gulfport just because you have that port. The port is massive, and the downtown is by far the biggest downtown on the coast. I believe
we're the second largest city in the state of Mississippi.
Right. So it's a big downtown, but I think the mayor and I think people are trying to do the right things to turn it around. I know they've done a lot with the building department and the other stuff, but you got to be able to get investors back, and you got to be able to make it easier for investors to want to go in there and build. But I truly believe like you have the aquarium, which is to me right now is probably the centerpiece of downtown Gulfport. I mean, there's nothing nicer than it. Nothing that really even compares to it. So, that's the centerpiece, and you got to build around it. You got to put hotels and restaurants and bars or whatever else you want to do to make the aquarium more successful. You're only going to be successful as downtown Gulfport is.
Yeah, you want to spend like a day at the aquarium and then go hang out somewhere else,
Yeah, or
get some food, get some
What would
drinks, stuff
would
like
it make you feel though if somebody came in with like, a local business, like you said, and they eat there and they get a coupon or an attraction, like y'all work as a team, and that's a big thing. I mean, it really does make a difference.
I think we have to, from what I've heard, most of our marketing is word of mouth, and like that what people say here really matters. And I've never lived in a small, like this size of town before. I've always lived in bigger ones. And it's a really interesting lesson to learn. Like everyone is related or knows somebody or is a cousin or has been in a crew or whatever. Like everyone knows everyone down here. So your reputation is very important, because once you get a bad reputation, it's very hard to overcome it. That's just my observations from, living here for 5 years. And so we want people, if they're concerned about the aquarium doing well, we would love for them to become ambassadors to help us do better. Like we're always good for a good word of mouth. And if people have questions about, what we do there or something, definitely come. Like you guys didn't know about the animal experiences. You mentioned something for Christmas. We're having a big Christmas thing this year, which is going to be cool. It's like projection mapping on the building. And we had some people come in. It's sponsored by Coca-Cola. And we had people come in to create this whole little cartoon story about penguins. And we're going to be open in the evening for about $20 for adults and $10 for children. So it's like a cool experience. You could do the lights and come to the aquarium. We'll have food, stuff like that.
Great. I mean, the lights has always been, I've pretty much have gone almost every year.
Yeah.
Just like a cool little experience. Take my daughter, even though she's older.
Well, my kids ask every time we drive by Jones Park, even if it's July, they're like, remember when we went there?
Yeah. So it's great. And I think that's great. You guys are doing it. Yeah. And that's one of the reasons why I really wanted you to come to do this, because I didn't want people to think I was talking negative about the aquarium. It had nothing to do with that.
But you're right on the city though, because like I had a buddy, Frankie Adams, Frankie.
Yeah.
And Frankie, I was helping him do some marketing. He's a part owner in the Islander Outfitters, and he had a place right there across from John's 14th Street, his office, right by right by Tony's is it Tony's?
Yeah, Tony's
Pizza.
Yeah, and
which I love. It's like one of my favorites.
But he couldn't, like, he left because his business is in downtown Ocean Springs. He wanted to have a downtown Gulfport business, but he left because his employees were so scared. And I remember him telling me, it's like they were so scared about like homeless people going into his business.
Oh yeah.
And that was a big factor for him to just move. He was like, he couldn't get nobody to work.
Really?
And that was, that was because it's like a boutique. It's like a clothing store. Okay. Young girls are, they're making $8 an hour.
Yeah.
You guys might not experience as much as everyone else because you got to kind of go up a little bit. You got to go to that parking garage.
We're a little bit away. I mean, I honestly don't see it.
You're next to more the federal courthouse and stuff.
Yeah.
But if you go like a block or two blocks, closer to the city, it's gotten bad. I mean, it's gotten bad for everybody. So that's, I think, a big thing. And I think, if we had like nice hotels there, like the Markham Open, stuff like that, a lot of people. And I'm even having issues in Biloxi, at the Bella. I mean, homeless people, it scares people that are visitors. And the one thing you want as a visitor in the Mississippi Gulf Coast is you want people to walk out of their door and be like, wow, look at this ocean.
Yeah.
Look what we have. Look at these restaurants. Look at these bars. They don't want to be like, see a homeless person and I'm not bashing. I mean, most of them have mental illnesses, so it's sad. But, you have some of these ones that are crazy. And that's because everyone is shipping them to us.
Well, I mean, homelessness is not a problem just for Gulfport or Biloxi. It's like, it's everywhere. And
I know.
I mean, in bigger cities, I think maybe that's why I don't notice it, maybe because it's in bigger cities, it's a really, really huge problem. And I mean, I don't know that we're going to solve the homelessness problem here tonight, which there's always something to be done and to help people out. But I mean, I don't see it, but I appreciate that can be a concern for people.
Yeah, my big thing is I believe that you guys are probably the premier attraction in downtown Biloxi. I mean, in Gulfport, but maybe even the whole Gulf Coast. So, I mean, if they can actually build around that area and really put a really beautiful hotel and bring people, I mean, think about it. If you had 2,000 people staying within 2 blocks of your place, how many more customers and how much more revenue you could drive.
Yeah, for sure.
So, I mean, I think that's a big point.
So a big thing when I've been like, I think if you're a small business owner, you know, it takes a couple of years to even have a small retail center or restaurant. It takes a couple of years to even make a profit.
No doubt.
I was at Tavi's today, Octavio. Like that's how we met.
Yeah.
We met there.
That's exactly.
And we're talking, he's doing good, but like he puts a lot of work.
Yeah.
There needs to be incentives for like him and Shannon to like the city, to me, the city needs to come in and give them credits to keep, you know, alive and keep going because they're all in, you know, they're all in. And I was able to have, so I didn't go to the aquarium today, but I went there just to see, and there was a few tables. We had a good time, but it's a situation where you're a city. You need to, if there's a local business coming in, a lot of people have dreams. They don't have bankrolls. They don't have $100,000 in the bank. They have enough for 3 months. They have enough for 6 months. This is true. Like most small business owners that actually work their spots have enough for a few months. And I think the city should come in and be like, hey, let's assist you. You know, let's help you. And then it connects to everything.
Yeah. I mean, listen, the more successful businesses around the aquarium, Tavi's, any of those places, only help each other. You know, a lot of times people are like, hey, I don't want another restaurant by me. You want that. The more synergy, what people don't understand is if I have a restaurant, I want 3 more to open right next to me, because the more people don't want to go to a specific empty destination. They want to be able to go there and go, I want to go to this place and have a drink here. Then I'm going to go eat over there.
Some little shops.
Wow.
You know, and that's something you need in every downtown.
Yeah.
That's why, honestly, Ocean Springs and Bay St. Louis has succeeded the way they have. You know, it's been great.
Yeah, they're cute towns.
So I got to answer some questions. So my mom hit me on this one.
Okay.
So mom got me on. My grandson Joseph lives in Anaheim, California. He wants to come to the aquarium in Gulfport. So happy to hear about the penguins. I do love you, Mom. I love you, Mom. This question, Dimitri. He says there's a notion of stay away from Gulfport unless it's downtown. What would you guys say to combat that mindset? Like, what's kind of lighten up, but so he's saying is like there's always a negative thing, like don't go downtown Gulfport. It's pretty much what he's saying.
Stay away from Gulfport unless it's downtown. So I think he's probably saying like downtown Gulfport's the only bad part, the only good part. The rest of Gulfport is bad. I don't believe that. I mean, there's, you know, in any city, Gulfport's a really big and spread out city. So there's good parts and bad parts, and you know, there's some great parts. I mean, of Gulfport. I mean,
I'm dyslexic, so I just
where
I read that so wrong.
Like here, where we're at right now is like on the island. You know, and the island is probably one of the nicer, more affluent areas. You know, you have a lot of restaurants off Lorraine Cowan. You know, you have some stuff that's coming back a little bit on Pass Road, but it's one of these towns that just have struggled, I think, over the last like 15 to 20 years, that things are just going down. I think people now are starting to invest some money in this area and the entire Gulf Coast.
Yeah, just since I've been here, it's obvious. It's like there are a lot more houses, there are a lot more places, and I mean, it gets me excited because I feel like there's so much potential. And so, you know, I like to see new places come, try them out, take my family.
I mean, look at the beach.
I
mean, the beach, you know, because it's sad because I've been coming here now for almost 30 years since being with my wife.
So you know Boca though.
Yeah.
So you know.
Yeah. I fell in love with Biloxi just seeing it before Katrina.
Yeah.
And there were so many beautiful antebellum homes on the beach. It was incredible. And then when Katrina happened, it kind of devastated the whole area. But you're starting to see things come back. And it might not be what everybody wants it exactly the way it wants, but now you're starting to see at least some resurgence. Like people are building their homes back on the beach. You know, we haven't had a storm in a while, which is great. Hopefully that lasts forever. But you know, things have been in good, you know, but you know, then we came to inflation and now we have insurance issues. So it's never going to be easy living in a coastal area. But one thing that is easy is, and Dimitri, is one of the keys is when you have a downtown and a downtown is flourishing, kind of like a Nashville or kind of an Austin, Texas, all the other areas around that flourish as well. So if Nashville has become huge, all those towns around that, all the outskirts of Nashville have all become very nice and successful, but you need to have a base, and the base honestly is downtown Gulfport. Good, bad, and different. I mean, that's the downtown.
Well, let's talk about though
Hancock
too,
County
even
and
where
Central.
we live over here. Like, let's talk about your condo. You invest in your condo because you do love this place.
Oh yeah, there's no doubt. I mean, people are like, I'm not. If people think I'm just investing just to make a ton of money, that's not reality. I mean, it's hard. It's hard to invest in properties and make money day one. I mean, it takes time, and I'm investing for the future. I believe that the coast is a hidden gem, and I believe if you invest here now at $150, $200, $250 a foot, one day it's going to be worth $500 a foot. One day people are going to see, I go to South Florida a lot just because I have a business there and I have a house there, and one of my sons lives there, and you go there to compare to here. I mean, you could pay 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 times the amount of money for a house for the identical same house and even less land. So people don't realize, I mean, we are a hidden gem. It's just getting the people around here, especially, the cities, to say, hey, we need to grow. Growth is not, some people don't like growth in this area, and they want it to be a small, sleepy town. And that's great as well. But you have to have the growth in a good way, to have the restaurants, have the entertainment, have the shops, that people will want to come to downtown Gulfport, stay, eat, shop, go visit the aquarium.
Yeah.
Go to the ballpark.
I mean, that's the whole state of Mississippi, right? They have a problem losing people to other states.
No
so it's kind of like that down here, and it's statewide. But then there are also things going on that are really cool that no one knows about, like the blue economy is really picking up down here with the port, and a lot of companies are moving over here from California or other places because it's less expensive, and they're doing really cool stuff that helps the ocean, helps the people. They bring a huge workforce, so all those people need places to live, places to eat, places to shop, things like that. So I mean, there's a lot of really interesting things going on here, and you just don't even know about it. I'm a little embarrassed to say this, but I'll just say it. Like, before I was approached to come down here, I never even considered Mississippi really like a huge coastal state, because it's not one that you really hear about.
It, no.
I mean,
Thank y'all. I'm born and raised here. I'm from Ocean Springs.
but you don't
Shout
hear
out
about
OS.
it.
100%
You don't hear about it. And then you get down here, and I have been struck with so much opportunity and just beautiful places and really, really cool stuff that's been honestly neglected by many other people outside of Mississippi. We just don't think of Mississippi, but now I'm here, I think about it a lot. And one example I want to tell you guys about, because I think it's cool, is that I learned that there are coral in the deep water in our Gulf. I had no idea that there were coral that deep. And we're a part of this grant that we got with NOAA and National Marine Sanctuaries Foundation. And we're growing some of this coral at our offsite facility. And I'm working on an exhibit installment with a bunch of different things. There'll be a press release coming out soon, but it's going to bring these coral that are like 160 feet deep. So you wouldn't be able to see them normally just as a person. And we're going to bring them to life at the aquarium and all the communities surrounding it, and why it's so important, because the Deepwater Horizon oil spill really affected those areas. And you hear about dolphins and turtles, you don't hear about coral. And things like that are so cool and inspiring. Like, I went to Ireland in May for the International Association for Aquatic Animal Medicine and gave a presentation about this. And I cannot tell you how many people came up to me and were like, I'm so excited to come and see these coral. I had no idea. So that's just one example. And people that live here, did you know there were deepwater coral?
No.
See,
No,
you're from
I've
here.
never seen someone so excited.
We're not going to bullshit you.
Someone's so excited about coral. I
You're
mean,
here.
I don't know much about
But
coral,
so
but look,
cool.
that's
And they
amazing.
have little fish, the crazy fish that you see from the deep sea that live down in those areas.
And they get her and Marty together.
She's excited like coral, like a panda bear.
Yeah,
She's like, oh my god, the coral.
So artificial
They're
reefs,
so cool.
Marty got I think 1.5 million for the reefs. Y'all need to get together, because Marty's like, no, we need to create them like this. He lived in Hawaii.
Yeah.
So he's like, I want to create them not like block windows. They had
Yeah.
a company in Alabama that was reaching out to him like, hey, you got this grant for 1.5 million. And he goes, no, but you got to make them very, you got to put a lot of work into making these. And they look like giant mushrooms. Like they really were just very like they put so much work. He goes, that's gonna be kind of that's gonna change.
They are pretty.
These coral are different because like normal coral use photosynthesis with these things called zooxanthellae to create their food, and these are down in the areas where the light barely touches or even deeper where there's no light. So they're very different than other coral. They don't bleach out like the shallow coral and stuff, but we have some. They're doing really well. They're beautiful. They have little polyps out. They've spawned, released eggs where we have little babies. So that's just an example of like, if someone would have asked me 5 years ago, like, do you think you're going to work on a coral project? I'd be like, no. But then some guy was walking by from this project and asked for a tour, and I gave him a tour. He's like, would you want to work with coral? I'm like, yeah. So it's just so many different things that there's so much potential. I never thought, I mean, I love the ocean, obviously, but coral have never been my thing, but now they are kind of my thing.
You're day to day in this world.
Yeah.
And you're becoming Captain Planet.
That's great. Listen, I mean,
you know Captain Planet. Come on. Yeah, I know you say you're older, but
I don't.
You
I don't
you
know
really,
Captain
Yeah,
Planet.
you do.
yeah, you do. Captain Planet, he's your hero.
Maybe I do. I don't know. I don't know. My mind forgets a lot.
I just think it's cool that you're passionate, but one of the biggest things is about like the downtown area, and I'm going to speak to that. Like for me, being a small business owner, like small business owners dream. I think there's a point where the city has to jump in if there's any kind of grant money or anything to help or there's an investor comes in like, hey, let me just build this. I don't need no credit, but don't stop me building. Let's get it done. I need it done in because every day. So let's say, so not just taking Ivan, there's several people that battle with this, but every day costs money. So if you hold them down, Shannon from Tavi's, that was one of the biggest things. It cost them money to open their spot. It cost them, they took money out of their house. It cost over 12 grand because they were delayed on permits.
Yeah.
And that's what people don't understand. It's so hard.
And their family.
I built all those projects on Pass Road and doing those condos and, Flamingo Landing and a bunch of restaurants. And, that's really the problem is I never got a nickel. I didn't get a penny from the city on any of my projects. And I didn't really expect it. I bought those properties because I wanted to do it. I wanted to try to make this area nicer. And that's the biggest problem when you're building and you're supposed to be built in, 12 months. And all of a sudden it's taking you 24 months and it's not your fault.
Yeah.
It's, little things like that kind of aggravate people. And that's kind of what aggravated me. And again, now after,
sorry about the bridge video.
We just,
again, the bridge video,
undo attack,
I know. I do apologize. I didn't want y'all to think it was and Michael Sutterman actually reached out to me as well. And Whitney, so I apologize on that end, but now after Lay, I think everyone should be out going to the aquariums.
Yeah.
I want to bring my kids
come on
over the holidays.
What are they
I think
like?
we can help.
I want to do the diving. I definitely want to go in the water. I think those experiences
we can make it happen.
With the animals are amazing.
If you want to come volunteer with sea turtles, feel free.
So what's funny? I was at my house in Boca. We were looking in the backyard and we saw a sea turtle.
That's awesome.
Last week we were there. It wasn't huge, but it was neat. So we see manatees a lot.
Yeah.
Which those are
love them.
They're crazy. So especially on the water, especially right out, they like going by the walls.
Yeah.
And I guess eat
the
the algae.
seaweed,
but it's so sad how you see every one of them have so many scars.
Yeah.
There's so many scars on their backs just from props and stuff.
Yeah.
And they're I don't even know it's so hard to say what they look like because they're like big and like ugly, but they're cute.
They're so cute.
You know what I'm saying? But they're like it's like a face that only a mother can.
Were you mad about that when he said that?
No, I'm not mad.
I
get it.
I got a knife.
It's like a face.
You can stab them in the live show.
Face of mother. It's hard to explain.
Cute. They're like a little sea potato cow puppies.
Exactly, something to that effect. But I mean, they're they're very, very, very strict.
Yeah.
In South Florida. So I mean, when you're on your
boat, it's helped them too.
There's no doubt. When you're on your boat, I mean, pretty much the whole intercoastal way is almost no wake zone entirely now.
We have manatees here too.
Do we?
Yeah, randomly. Wow. Yeah, and there are a few that come all the way this way, and they're working on it to figure out if they're then we'll go back to Florida or they actually live in the Alabama, Mississippi waters.
Oh wow!
See, there's a lot of hidden gems here.
So, what extinction though? Like animals that are just like not gonna they're not gonna make it. Like.
Well, African penguins, which is the kind we have, are just listed this last week as critically endangered. So I think it's estimated that in 2030, I don't want to get my number wrong, but 2030, mid 30s, they'll be extinct.
Can't you breed them?
So we can, yes. And there are many, many zoos and aquariums that are breeding them, but they're just going extinct so quickly they're so endangered, they're going to go extinct if we don't make radical changes, which is, I mean, we want our penguins to breed.
Right.
And a lot of places are working for that. But I think that's another thing. Like, people don't know about them. And once you see them, you can't look at the penguin and be like, I don't want to help you, because they're very cute. So the more, it's like what you help.
But they bite.
They bite. Yeah.
And they hurt.
Every animal bites, though.
That's true. Any animal with teeth bite.
Anything with the mouth bites.
They shouldn't be extinct, though. They shouldn't be extinct.
No, but they are going to be.
Sucks.
Yeah.
Dude, eventually all we're going to do is have like electric, like robots, AI, and it's coming.
What is the like on like a dolphin? How long do dolphins, like life expectancy on these animals? Are they like short, long? I mean, I'm clueless. So I don't know if a dolphin should live 20 years, 100 years, or.
So usually they actually live longer in well-kept zoos or aquariums.
Right.
There's one in Florida that lived into her 60s, which is very, very old.
What?
But 40s, 50s for sure.
So how do you take care of that age of it?
Well, that's the thing. That's what's cool about my job. I take care of babies. I take care of pregnant moms. I take care of old ladies. I take care of
Zoloft? What do you do?
No, I mean, I have given animals Prozac before, for sure.
What type of animal?
I've given it to a few, actually, like dogs, cats.
I'm on Prozac and I love it.
I love it too.
It makes me nice and relaxed. And,
no, we use all the drugs that
that
humans use. It's just off label because they don't really do a lot of studies before we use them. Right. It's really not cost effective. But we do plan for when we get an animal, we plan for its whole life, because we're not going to be like, well, you're old, it's time for you to go. We take care of it. So a lot of them, we get arthritis, so we give them anti-inflammatories or glucosamine to help their joints, or like cancer, we would treat the cancer. I mean, we treated a stingray with cancer at the aquarium. What? So like of all time, I've been a vet since 2013, a local spinal surgeon and a local nurse orthopedic practitioner, and a guy who donated the plates to us. This was very shortly after we opened, and we did the first ever spinal surgery on a shark, and she survived and she swam better after the surgery, which is awesome. I'm working on the paper right now. It's been a very long time because I've been busy, but that happened here in Gulfport, Mississippi, and it was the very first time, and it's awesome because we have the chance to do things like that because people trust us, and we don't take it lightly. Like, we do our best with everything. The vet team, we're all very passionate about it. So it's cool.
What's the best age for kids to, like, swim with dolphins?
Well, you can't swim with them here, but I believe there's an age limit, and I think it's 10, but I would have to check that website. What do you think
the best encounter with an animal is if you had for a child?
Oof. Kind of depends on the child, right? My son loves reptiles, so if he gets to touch a snake, he's on cloud 9. But I think dolphins are really popular for a lot of people, and penguins.
And too. Like, what's the largest group you can do with a dolphin?
Ooh, I think probably they cap it off, and I think it's like 8 to 10.
Okay.
But we have them throughout the day, so
I want to do 10 kids.
Yeah.
Okay, between 10 and 15, the first 10 of them, I'm going to sponsor to do a little trip, and I'm going to come.
Cool.
So the first 10 kids that come up here on this podcast that say, I want to do it, Jordan will lock it up, and it's on me. And I want to be able to enjoy.
So I'm locking it up.
Yeah, so all I got to do is the first 10
There's a kid
kids,
downstairs, right?
There's a kid downstairs. The first 10 kids, shoot over your name, and we can make it happen. Sponsored, and then I'll be able to come experience and do a little tour.
Yeah. Yeah. And the dolphin team will be happy to answer their questions.
Fun.
They're very sweet to my kids. They can make them make fart noises, which
Oh,
kids
wow.
really love. So
Look
that's
at
always
They do.
that's
Dude,
always
dude,
a good.
Oliver. So Oliver.
Tesla does that also. My daughter loves that.
So so Oliver loves like sleeping with us. He does probably 3 days a week.
Yeah.
He's
And he farts a lot.
no on my face.
Oh, that's
That's like no, it's like hey, looks
Hey,
at me,
Dad,
goes,
I got you.
and then he sits his ass on my face. Boom, right there.
My kids know the hand signal to ask a dolphin to make that noise. And
Oh,
so
that's
they
funny.
like to just do it and like I have to pretend to be the dolphin.
So let's finish a couple
that's
questions
funny.
out. So if you have questions, like let's go. Like there's a couple things going on. We've got a new podcast dropping, but if you have any questions, you got about 2 minutes, and we're gonna close this out. You've been amazing. Like because like you're a
Thanks.
passionate person. Like you care about this.
I do.
Yeah,
Deeply.
so you're one of us. Like you're great.
Yeah, I was
But-
gonna come in there hard and
Yeah,
ask some typical questions.
You can't.
But I after meeting her and actually hearing the passion from your whole group,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Your whole group at Tavi's when we all had lunch, I was like, you know what? You know, they had your passion's incredible.
Yeah, we don't do it for the money for sure.
Yeah.
But it's hard work, but it means so much. And we are so thankful for the opportunity.
Girl, I'm never gonna fuck with a real person. That's my podcast, so I'm never know that you're real. There's no way you're a sweetheart. No way. And like you said, like what let's go next time when you get 2 weeks. Let's do it.
Yeah, when I get back, let's do it. We'll set it up over the holidays.
Yeah.
It'd be kind of cool, like a little Christmas time.
Yeah.
Right before Christmas, like
Yeah.
maybe beginning of December.
Yeah.
You set up, you get the 10 kids' names, set it up, and we'll set it up.
For
You know,
sure.
I don't want to pick any kids.
And one kid gets
I don't-
picked.
I don't want to pick any kids I know. I want it to be random. It could be from anywhere.
No, but if there's one kid gets picked though, he's gonna tattoo your name on his face.
No, I don't want.
No, I'm just joking, dude.
But no, But I really appreciate you, and I really do appreciate all your sponsors. I know a lot of people that are actually true sponsors for you
Yes,
guys,
we do.
and I appreciate them all. You know, doing that kind of stuff and spending the money and the time and the resources. I know it's hard.
Yeah, we do too.
I'm
For
involved
sure.
in a lot of projects, and it's hard for me to do everything. But I'm definitely looking forward to seeing it and trying to see if I can help out. in
I'll
any
show
way
you the
possible.
coral. You'll be
The
amazed.
coral.
So
Excited.
plug your sponsors, whatever you want. Plug it on this camera right here, and then we'll this is you right here. This camera, whatever
right.
you need to plug, you plug it here.
You plug it.
Okay, well, thanks for having me on, and thanks for all the supporters of Mississippi Aquarium. I hope that if you aren't one, you'll become one. And if you have any questions about what we do or volunteer opportunities or donation opportunities, visit our website at msaquarium.org. And if you like to learn about behind the scenes vet stuff, you can follow me on Instagram or Twitter at Alexa Delaune DVM. Actually, not Twitter, TikTok. I don't know why I said that. TikTok and Instagram, Alexa Delaune DVM.
What do you want to plug?
I don't want to plug anything. I just want to plug the Mississippi Aquarium that I'm excited to go there and visit. I'm excited to show some kids, some dolphins, and just listen. Let's make the coast better, and having a place that's that nice and I think it could be the ground, the start of a new era down in downtown Gulfport. So if we can start building around that area and get the mayor behind it and all the city councilmen, the people around it, I think if you build around that area, people will come. And the more people that we have living, staying, visiting, will only make it you guys more successful.
Yeah, we want to be busy.
That's right.
Busy.
Yeah.
So I
because-
want to plug one thing. Well, a couple things, but first off, let's go into thank you, Mom, for being a guiding light in my life. Let's go into right here, though. Sage, I have to do this, Sage. Like, you are such an amazing friend, person. And this is one of the, and I'm going to jack this up when I say it. Let's see. Hold on. No, hold on. I can't figure this out. Half time, I can't figure this shit out. Let's go. But here, right
He's
here.
trying to figure out his plug.
Yeah. Well, we'll know the set it up. Yeah. Hold on. Really hard. So Sage had that down there cancer, the female cancer. And you know, Andrew, you met Andrew Lowens. And,
Yeah, I'm just reading it.
Yeah. And so she wrote this today at 6 hours ago. She goes, and Andrew's both are a big part of Carter's Champions. I've decided I'm going to be raw this year. Listening to an audiobook recently, one of my favorite podcasters, Karen Kilgraff,
Yes, it sounds right.
explain life's hardships and grief so well. empties you internally. Is that saying right? Entirely. Sorry. And 9 years ago today, I become vacant, even surrounded by more support than I deserve. You think it was when I found out I had cancer, but for me, it was the aftermath that emptied me. When you're not diagnosed with cancer, no one, absolutely no one, warns you about what happens after cancer. I struggled for 9 years with survivorship. It's hard, y'all. Being 24 years old, cancer patient is extremely isolating. But being 34 years old, cancer survivor is a different battle. I never realized that I'd always be in a different place than my friends and other people my age. For 9 years, as I've fought hard to heal and move forward, I'm crying now, and take care of myself. It's less than I feel isolated and more that I don't know where I belong. It's a strange feeling to have such a beautiful life you never even imagined you could have. And to still wrestle with thoughts that you don't fit. The mind is a complex thing. Hear me out. I'm not saying that I'm unhappy, and I'm not saying that I'm not in love. I'm not loved. I'm simply saying that survivorship can be lonely and scary and overwhelming sometimes. Let this anniversary, she hit 10 years. Let this anniversary sneak up on me this year. I've said it before. Survivorship is uncomfortable, but even when I don't feel safe here, I sit with it and catch my breath. Like always I do. I don't make these days big deal, but 9 years ago I became a survivor, and what I realized today is I don't want to feel empty anymore. Here's to many, many more years feeling, living, and celebrating. Happy anniversary, 10 years, girl.
Good job.
Y'all have a good night. I love y'all.
Thank you. Have a great night.